Welcome, everybody, to the MyBlogGuest November Hangout. It really feels like we've hit December already in the holiday time, in that holiday season, and with U.S. Thanksgiving yesterday, we're going to start by saying what we're thankful for. I'm thankful. See, I get this first because I'm in the seat, but I'm thankful for the MyBlogGuest team and for Ann Smarty pulling us all together, and for the community. Those of you watching, I'll put the link on the MyBlogGuest community, so if you do want to jump on the inside of this, you're welcome to join in. And with that, Don, you're on the hot seat to say what you're thankful for.
All right. Howdy, howdy. My son and I were just doing that, Deb, because he needed a little attitude adjustment this morning. And, you know, we joined hands to do that. But, you know, one thing I looked at and I realized is I was at the sink and I was getting some water for tea. And I realized I'm really thankful that I have running water in the house. You know, we've lived in places before where there would be, like in Florida, there would be a hurricane, or in Kentucky, it's like for some reason they just couldn't keep the utilities going, and we'd be out of water. And, you know, when you have it, you really don't realize it, but when you don't have it, I mean, the toilets back up, it's hard to cook, you can't wash. It's horrible without water. So today, I'm really thankful for fresh, running, wonderful water.
That's a good one.
I like it.
Yes, I'll think of that the next time I'm washing my hands. I'll realize, because yeah, when we've had electricity go out, you realize, you know, you're running. Well, I run into walls, or I burn the house down with a candle or something like that. It's like, wow, electricity is really nice. That's good, Don. Thank you.
We don't have Thanksgiving.
But you can still be thankful.
I'm thankful today has ended. It's been an awful day. Absolutely awful.
Oh, poor Phil.
And I'm thankful my electricity is still on, because when it goes off, I have no water either. Because the water is from a pump, but not a mains water. So, yeah, I'll go with Don's idea. Be thankful for little things.
Yes. Hey, that reminds me, Phil. Okay, I realize it's the U.S. Thanksgiving. I'm half Canadian, so I get two Thanksgivings because I get the Canadian one too. So, do you guys have like a Black Friday?
We have one in Canada, but it's only because the marketers are jumping on board to make more money, and I still think it's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You'll never catch me out on Boxing Day or Black Friday. Never, ever. But we do have it.
And here in the States, it's moved to Thursday. Yesterday, it started coming out. You know, people are having their sales. They're trying to move it on back.
What's with that, Don? What was it? My son was with his girlfriend. They were going to go pick up some soda or something, and they weren't allowed to go into Walmart because it was backed up to the parking lot. I'm like, we just want some groceries.
It's crazy. Do you ever see a race where the guys are ready to go, or even a football game when they're lined up, and one person just starts to move and everyone else takes off too? I think that's what's happened in marketing is, you know, one person moves it back a little earlier, and the other people have to move it back earlier, and pretty soon it's all pushing back. Everyone wants to be first.
Like a gas war.
Makes sense. So Shannon, how about you?
What am I thankful for?
Yep.
I have to say my hubby, I guess. I should. Because
I guess I should.
I really should, because he, as you know, I have a chronic illness, and he is my rock. He does everything, mostly because he has to, but he does a lot for me. He really takes good care of me, and I am thankful for him. Because if
Excellent.
I didn't have him, I just couldn't imagine it. Yeah, so I'm thankful for him.
Just gonna make sure that he watches this so he can see you say this.
He's got an ego the size of Canada already, so.
Oh, okay, all right.
Any help at all? Really.
Excellent. Anne, you get the hot seat. and the update.
Yes. We don't have Thanksgiving in our country as well, but I'm thankful for having such a sweet holiday in this country, and I'm thankful for having a long weekend and being able to talk to you from my kids' room right now. You can see the funny posters behind me. That's the only place I can hide from her because she's also home. So if she's here, you will notice that the same moment. So I'm thankful for her to give me an opportunity to talk right now until she's here to interrupt me. And I'm thankful for so many things. Of course, MyBlogGuest and the team that we have and the community that we have built and we're building and the features and how excited you are all. And I'm thankful for you being at the Twitter chat yesterday, even though it was the huge holiday for you. And I'm thankful for your attitude, for your excitement, for everything you do for our community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anne. I put an applause in here, bro. And Anne, I'm curious about the update from MyBlogGuest, but also I would love to hear any stories you have as far as because we have a current contest running, and you've been doing contests at least since I joined the team and way back, and I think they're the most fun contests out there personally, and not bias aside, I just think they're really fun contests. And what's the story behind that? Is this just something you wake up in the morning and say I'm gonna do this, or how did this all start?
We try to make contests every season. So we have winter, spring, summer, and autumn. And right now it's autumn time, so we have autumn contests still running. And I even don't remember how it started. I remember my thought behind that. Everything in MyBlogGuest is free. We don't allow anyone to charge for anything. We want the articles to go live free, and we want them to go live because they are perfect and great. So I wanted to have something fun to encourage more interaction, I guess. So I decided to go with the contests, and I'm trying to make every contest to be about the new feature that we introduce or to feature some great things that we are doing. I'm not always able to. For this season, for example, I had to wait for a long time before I could announce eBooks Gallery, but it was not still ready for the contest. And so I wanted to do something different. I decided to go with the visual success story contests. And I'm still waiting for yours, by the way.
My daughter put one in.
This one, the video.
And I promise, I'm saying this to public, I didn't touch it. Her dad might have helped her, but but I didn't touch it. So it's all apart from me.
I've just created my submission, by the way, and I will feature it on my personal blog, It's So Smart, on Monday. It will be the short visual story of how I'm promoting our official free guest blogging book through our new gallery. So that will be a quick visual story about how it's doing and where it is featured, and probably some funny things. So I'm doing my submission too. I have a success story, not even one.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's a really good point, you guys, because I've been thinking since I'm a moderator that I shouldn't do an entry, but I have gained a whole lot from my blog guest and seen. I mean, it really helped kick me into gear with guest blogging. So thanks for that, Anna. I think it's all right for Mods to enter, right?
Sure. Everyone should participate. Everyone has the success story. So I have mine.
Yeah.
I have several, but I have to feature my one because I don't want to dominate the contest.
All right.
That's a good idea, because I mean, we're so used to 5 pages of legal terms, and if you know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody, you can't enter.
For me, I'm Canadian, so I can't enter any contest, it seems.
Really?
No, pretty much. Like there was I don't know. Was something? All I remember it was for a washer and dryer, the stand-on, the stacker type, And I was like, I'm going to so enter for that. And I'm going to enter my dad. I want this. And I can't do it because it's an America thing, but it specifically says only in the 50 states or blah, blah, blah. So pretty much anything I want to enter is just no. Because I'm
But in this case, when that come down to Anne making the rules of whether or not she wants it to be a particular country, I mean, it's not Canada that's saying you can't enter, is it?
No, she should be able to. She should be able to stipulate whoever she wants. But I'm just saying in general, especially big box companies or whatever, they don't want nothing to do with us poor Canadians. Neighbors to the north.
Okay, but I would think, in this one, what does it hurt if you get the fun of putting together your visual, even if your country somehow says you can't claim the prize, at least you can join in on the fun. See, it's not always about the prize.
Well, we support every country, and you do not even be on this planet if you want to participate.
I like that. We got a little Martians.
All you need is using MyBlogGuest, so you can be from Mars or any other planet. You're always welcome.
You never know who's watching.
That's true. And as a definition of visual, it's basically anything that is not text only. Is that a good definition?
Yes. Video, any image, even a screenshot of your statistics, or just a photo, just anything, video, PowerPoint presentation, short, any visual you can come up with. No strict guidelines about that. We have already one video and we have PowerPoint presentation as well. So just go as creative as you want.
I like how you said that screenshot. I mean, that makes it really basic. I mean, even your iPhone or your smart device, your camera, whatever, take a picture of it. Well, I don't know if that'd work. But I'm trying to simplify it. But I mean, even an image, one simple image is a visual representation of. You can write in your success or use your favorite photo editing software to add something. That's a good point.
Yep.
Excellent. And I think we've got, I can't remember how Preston put his together, but I know Hamlet put together a SlideShare kind of Garfield cartoon thing on there. So, and we've got, let's see, Himadre has a video, and he's improved in his video skills. I'm impressed.
Yeah, I noticed too. It's impressive. And we're still waiting for the video. I mean, we can still use the one from Preston, but I was hoping he would be able to create something more higher quality because I couldn't see it very well. But if he cannot, we'll still include that one too.
Oh, and Preston's? I think Preston, Don, do you know if Preston uploaded a new one?
Let me find my mic. I'm looking right now. I know he said he was going to, but I don't see it, at least not in the community. And do people have to post them in the G+ community? Is that where we're going to be looking for them to be able to start, choosing a winner, or how does that work?
Well, at least anywhere. We have an official thread inside the forum. We have an official announcement in the blog, and we have our community. So if at least in one of these places you submit your entry, I will make sure I will submit it to all the rest places, like I did with the best ones. They just announced them in our official thread, and then I went ahead and published it in our community as well. So I will handle the rest.
Great. And hey, looking now, I do see Preston's new submission. It says it's redone. I think it just came online. Nope. Yep. Yes, it's there.
Oh, great. So I'll include it today.
So there you go. So they'll all end up in the community where people can see them there. But hopefully people are going to put them on their websites, and they'll be, who knows, everywhere.
Yep, we'll do that.
And how does the judging work? Is it based on the metrics of the social sharing, or is it a voting process?
No, we'll collect all the submissions on the 15th of December, and we will let the community vote and select one. So that will be voting. This time is different because it's kind of hard to judge when this is a creative work. I didn't want to make any part of the contest to be votes or likes because that's a creative contest. So that will be just pure voting from the community.
Okay.
Okay, so great. And are we saying the end of day on the 15th or midnight on the 15th? What's the cutoff exactly?
Yes, as soon as 15th is over, so it will be the midnight.
Okay, after the end of the 15th, so starting the 16th, there can be voting perhaps?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm being really anal here. GMT, EST, what time zone? Like the Greenwich.
I think
Right,
that EST is the easiest because it's traditional for us. We've always announced the Twitter chat based on EST
Right.
even before I came
Right.
here. So that's not because of me. I promise. It
No,
happened.
that's fine. Yeah, I was pretty sure it wasn't Pacific time. That one usually doesn't win out on on any kind of time zone. Well, I think we lost Phil. I was going to ask him as far as a review of what we talked about last month. Don, do you mind speaking a little bit to? We were talking about offers and making offers and what good offers look like, and it's okay to reject. Which is, I love Phil's story on that one where he thought it wasn't okay and he was going to get a black mark from Anne and.
Yeah, well, and I still see a lot of that, Deb, and I think it is really important that publishers should realize when they accept an article, when you're looking at it in the MyBlogGuest.com, you don't get to see the entire article. You see portions of it, and you can see maybe the intro, and you can see what the links are. So there's quite a bit, and I want to urge people always do look at what you can see. And if you can tell right off the bat that for instance, you don't like the link, it's not relative to your site, then don't ask for it. I mean, look at what you can see. But once you do get selected for an article, always remember you can ask for adjustments. I mean, I don't think I've ever accepted an article that I didn't at least may find some grammar or something, punctuation or misspelling or something I wanted to correct, and I would just ask the writer, say, hey, do you mind if I switch this around, or stronger intro, or basic things. And I don't think I've ever had a writer say no. So what I'm trying to say is, publishers, when you get an article, look at it. You think it needs a change, don't just send it back. Talk to the writer. Just open up the communication, and most of the time you're going to be able to hammer it out.
That's a good point. Shannon, have you had the same experience?
Well, of course. As most of you guys know, I don't write per se right now. I'm mostly using MyBlogGuest as publisher, and I often will tell somebody straight up, hey, yeah, I'll get the offer even, and I'll say, yeah, I love the article, but I don't like how, like for instance, I remember one time recently I was accepting something about feline nutrition or something like that, and there was a heavy leaning towards the best pet food you can get is from the veterinarian, and that's so not true, because a lot of veterinarians get a lot of kickback for the food that they put in their store. So you have to be suspect about that, and you also have to be suspect because in the 24 North American schools for veterinarians get about 4 hours of nutrition training. 4 hours. So are you going to expect your veterinarian to be a automatic expert on feline nutrition with 4 hours of training? No. I'd want to second guess, because anyway, whatever. So I told the author, I said, look, could I just change this a bit so that I think I just changed to say that you can get really high quality pet food at your pet store. Ask your pet store manager, something like that. And they were really happy to make that change. It's not a big deal. So if you just don't want it to be portrayed heavily, something in a certain way or a certain light, or can I omit this article? Can I add my own links? Interior pages, of course. And I've never had anybody say no, not once. Even if I was to add my own extra paragraph, which I have done, just to make it more relevant or whatever, nobody says no. Not all they can do is say no, right? So why not?
That's a good point. Might as well ask.
Welcome back, Phil.
Sorry, I had to reboot everything because my internet froze.
Oh, that's good. And you have a coat on too. Is that for the same purpose? Are you inspiring your computer to?
It's winter.
Oh, you look
He's just too
festive.
hot. He's just too hot.
Well, I checked my oil tank today, and it's about a third empty, 1/3 gone. So the other 2/3 has to last me till spring. So the heating isn't turned up too high.
Oh, I'm thinking.
cold.
Okay, I was thinking oil on a car.
It's just a gilet.
Well, Phil lives a little off the grid, I think. Right, Phil? So a lot of
Sorry?
you live a little off the grid. You're not connected to the city directly where you live?
We've got electricity,
Well,
and we should be grateful for that.
of course.
We had this discussion another time, but that's all we've got. You know, with no mains water, no mains sewage, no mains gas, no mains electricity. We can't get telephone, internet. All I can get is satellite, and so on. So
But
yeah,
I betcha it's a
I'm off
very
the grid.
lovely scenery, and it's nice and calm. And
Oh, yeah.
zen.
we've got cows.
You? I didn't know that. Well, that sounds pretty idyllic to me.
Oh,
The
it is,
cows
it
or
is. I
the
wouldn't change
scenery?
it.
Scenery. Even the cows.
And we've got lots of. I've got a 30-foot hedge all the way around the garden.
Really? Is that for the
Yep.
cows? Keep them in or out?
Well, it's supposed to keep them out. I'm scared of cows, so
You have cows and you're scared of
I've-
cows.
they're not my cows. They're just in the field next door.
Oh, I see. Well, the way you said it,
I think
you
I'm some
have
sort of
cows.
farmer.
I was just wondering. So how would you have time for us?
I don't. I wouldn't.
You wouldn't.
The only time I go in that field is to chop trees down when the cows are inside in January.
I can't believe I'm so entertained watching you two on the MyBlogGuest Hangout. We're learning about cows in Ireland.
You never know what you need to know.
Oh, they're not proper cows. These are only heifers, which a girl I once taught told me are like teenage cows.
Oh, so they're not real cows. They're teenage cows. That
They're not
sounds-
ready for breeding yet.
Well, no wonder you'd be scared of them. Good grief.
They're bigger than me.
Teenage cows? God.
See, Anne, now you have a headline. We put the video up. Teenage cows at MyBlogGuest.
Teenage mutant cows. They're not real cows.
And then sometimes they run down the field.
Oh my God, Phil.
That's how you know they're not proper cows. They're running.
Oh,
Okay, wait. Did you say they're not proper cows?
they're not proper cows.
They don't have manners, or?
Teenage mutant cows, Deb.
Okay, all right. I think I got that. I'll be sure and put that keyword.
Immature cows.
Okay, immature cows.
I'm totally teasing Phil. I admit it.
I know. I have to
Hey,
have a
Phil.
laugh today.
You miss me when I'm not here. I know you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Hey guys,
yeah.
not to take it off cows, but if you can relate
Yeah.
cows back into making offers in a review, what we talked about last month as far as rejecting.
There you go. There's your. Don't fall apart.
So Phil, anything to add to? I know that was your topic selection last month.
Okay, making offers. So I've had a really tough day. I think basically people should be very choosy about the offers that they make. I know that members can only see the first paragraph of the article, but they can see the links. Yet sometimes we see articles being refused because of the links. Now, if there are 3 links, only one of those will be a self-serving link, and the other 2 will be to provide support for the writer's arguments, reference links, which is something we encourage. And when a blogger makes an offer for an article and he can see those links and then refuses it because of those links, it seems crazy sometimes. Really, we're trying to encourage people to use extra links. And to carry on along a similar vein, the discussion we've had this week in the MyBlogGuest G Plus forum about Hangouts, where the general consensus seemed to me to emerge that the link is better in the body if you can possibly get it in. And again, people sometimes refuse an article because there's a link in the body, where it's actually much more natural than in the bio. The bio should be about the author, not the company that is employing the author at the time. But we're getting off onto another tangent. Some people still don't know how to make links. I get emails, even with that big blue thing saying, click here to get this article free, about, what, 2.5 centimeters square. People don't see that, and they ask me if I have recommended an article. They ask me to give it to them. So I have a standard email, a standard private message that I send off, telling them to click on the big blue link, and that there'll be other people competing to make their pitch to the writer, not to me. But I think people are becoming more choosy, which is only right, in that the number of articles we see which are really, really good, those are never left hanging in the gallery for very long. Those we pin, we suggest that these are the some of them are approaching the elite article standard. They're actually written for a point, and those articles get lots of offers.
I know you guys said don't say, hey, I want your article, put something more in there.
I had a thought. I did. When the article, okay, so you make an offer on an article, and not like a mud, I can see the whole everything, right? But if I wasn't, as a publisher, to make an offer on something, and you only see, what, a sentence or two, right? Maybe a paragraph plus the links. So what if the offer got accepted, and then I just don't want it because it's the rest of the content is not, just doesn't suit my blog. I mean, I think you can just reject it still from your WordPress account, right? You should be able to reject it still, even if you've accepted it. Yeah.
And you want to take that one?
Nodding. Anne's nodding. So those, when that happens, they just go back to the queue. Do they go back to the queue? Like, just, that's what happened to them? They go back to the queue, Phil?
That's my understanding, because sometimes I will look for the article in the gallery if it's been flagged up as having an issue, and it's not there because the author already has their maximum number of articles published. So it's actually presumably goes to the author. No, it's not like, if it's a member who can have 10 articles live and that person has 9 live, then it will go live in the gallery. If that person already has 10, then it doesn't go live, and it goes to their queue.
Okay. Would it go at the end of the queue?
Published, but I don't know. I think it goes. I don't know. I've not been involved that side of things much.
Anne might know.
I wish I knew.
Well, it's just that I was just thinking that, because then if it was something that you accepted, and this is live and this is today, right? And it would get pushed back to the bottom of the queue, that could be a week away from ever reaching light again. Anyway, it was just a thought.
It's an interesting question on how it works. If the queue is like, say, by ID number, you know, when you create a new article, it has an automated generated.
Well, I mean, there's a queue by the user, though. Like, there's a user. Like, if the user is the premium at level, will they can have 10 live in the gallery? And
Right.
yeah,
I'm saying technology-wise on the back end and how it works as far as if it's sorted by ID number, for example, then it might pop up a little bit towards the top because it would have a lower number on an ID number.
well, one would
But if
hope.
it's by date,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm just throwing the technology back end possibilities. There we go.
Anyway, not a burning need to know, just a curiosity thing. Just because I don't find that problem because I can see all the text. But then, that's because I have extra features available to me.
It's because you're extra special, Shannon.
Well,
Extra privileges.
yeah, I'm extra something.
That does bring up a question. And again, I'm thinking of you, Phil, with the idea of being blackmarked if you reject an article. Is there any, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm asking a rhetorical question as far as any penalty if somebody offers for an article and then changes their mind and rejects it?
No.
Yeah, gosh, I hope not, because
No penalty at all.
I'd be in the dunce cap for sure.
So no one should work with you, Shannon, because you change your mind?
No, it's not that I change my mind. My mind forgets. Really. It's like, I don't remember doing that. Yet I posted
it does
there
help.
a comment, and my comment is there, but I don't remember doing it. No.
Phil?
It does help when people give us a reason for rejecting, rather than just saying no or no thank you. It helps if we actually have a reason. If there is something wrong with the article, then we need to look at it. Even if that article isn't live in the gallery, if it's been flagged up for poor English, then we'll check all that member's articles for that same fault to make sure that it's not going to be an ongoing issue.
I hadn't thought of that because on my role, I don't do the mod. But so, for example, if I say this isn't relevant to my blog, that helps you mods that process the articles because you say, okay, so this might fit this other genre or here, this other niche or niche.
Theoretically, but I haven't got time, and I don't think anybody else has time to look at it in such detail.
Plus, do you get when say I as a publisher reject the article, do you get any notification of where that site was, or do you get to see the site that rejected it in the back end, or do you just never know?
We have. Can I? I think I'm getting slow. I'll probably have to reboot, so I'll just quickly answer that question about the whole rejection thing. First of all, you are never in any way flagged for rejecting the article unless you were rude or just didn't explain why you were doing that, and you could get the manual rating from the author who didn't like your feedback. For some reason, you seem to be rude. So whenever rejection, please explain the reason behind the rejections. That will both help the author to improve their writing, and that will help the moderation team to look into the quality of other articles of the same author. So it helps everyone. It's just simple common sense, I guess, or manners. So whenever rejecting, please just explain why. That's the only thing. You could be flagged if you ignore the article, if you don't publish it within the deadline, and if it was the direct article, it will go back to the articles gallery automatically, or the author could just revert it manually from the gallery, from your queue to the gallery. In both cases, you are flagged. Your blog is flagged as ignoring the article. This flag shows that probably you, a publisher, you are away, or you cannot publish articles for some reason, for other people to know that. And you can always contact the customer service and ask to remove that flag and that you are back from the vacation or something. So that's the only way, the only case when you can be in some way flagged for not using the article. So don't ignore them. Try to reject if you don't want to publish them and explain the reason. That's the only rule.
Do you get the opportunity to do that if somebody sends you the article direct and you decline it? if from your WordPress, do you know what I mean? I don't think you get the opportunity to reply. Just,
You mean as far as giving a reason?
yeah. If you say reject from your WordPress, I'm pretty sure you don't get to say why. I don't think there's an option.
Yes, in that case, that's on our to-do list, and we haven't had the time to address that, but I know about the issue.
Okay.
You can remove your article from your WordPress blog, and in that case, the plugin will automatically reject it, and the reason will be the article was removed from the blog. So the author will actually know that it was removed, and it's an automatic notice. But that's something that we need to look into deeply when we have time to make sure that the plugin can actually have the reason to reject.
Plugin's pretty amazing already.
I think if you keep them, and this is not meant as this is meant as a positive thing as far as a practice and going through your checklist, but it's not a bad idea to, even if you use a plugin and you do everything within the plugin, and I agree with you, Shannon, it's a wonderful plugin. Still log into MyBlogGuest at least once in a while, check your updates, and make sure that what you're doing in the plugin is actually happening on the site, because that's the authoritative end of it as far as what you see on the site.
I've had that happen where if I had rejected something in the WordPress backend and it didn't, but I talked to the admins and they figured it out right away and got it fixed up. So.
But I mean, just to, as a general best practice, it's not about MyBlogGuest, just anywhere. It's nice to double check to make sure the authoritative site, which in this case is the MyBlogGuest.com, matches with what you've done on your end, because it could be a WordPress glitch, it could be a WordPress update thing that doesn't even relate to MyBlogGuest at all. See, I'm not laying the blame on the MyBlogGuest plugin, but it's good to double check that and make sure all the rejections and acceptance and everything went through. Okay, Shannon, links. This is so...
No, wasn't Phil talking about links?
Oh, no, you're on the hot seat now, honey.
I was going to ask, okay, generally, everybody, let's hear it. How many links is too many links? There's the burning question of the day.
Too many links are excess links that don't add anything to the reader's experience for the article. You should have enough links to help your reader understand. You should have links where it would be, for instance, if I talk about a certain research paper, I should link to that research paper. If I say it's snowing outside, I don't need to link to snow.
No.
So, just enough to help. Yeah. Here's Wikipedia's example of what's snowing.
Yeah. Well, but we've seen it. You have.
Yeah. So keep it simple, keep it appropriate, and keep it relative.
I haven't seen it, Shannon. I'm sorry. That just brings me a giggle. Really? A link to the definition of snow?
Absolutely. Completely common sense words. Everybody knows what it means, but they link it, and it's the only other link in the entire article.
Oh, wow.
They've obviously obscured their self-serving link that way. But, no, it's true. See it quite a bit.
Wow. Hey, Don, when you were saying that, I was thinking, I was up until the wee hours in honor of Black Friday writing an article for Eileen's Basic Blog Tips. And it's a holiday gift guide based on talking to Dragon Blogger. Okay, that was a mouthful. But anyway, there was less writing in that article and link galore on, Amazon links to get it, the review links. I mean, I don't know, there's like at least 20 links in there. So I was thinking about that. And in that case, it's a gift guide. The idea is that someone can look at a bullet list, see the different items that are listed as gifts for kids, gifts for adults, and you've got your link to the review and you've got your link where you can purchase it. And that is the purpose of the article. So I was thinking, yeah, that number of links would be excessive for any other article that I write, but for a gift guide, it seems to make sense.
Yeah, and and maybe there's a second consideration as well, Deb, is I also like to look at my work visually. So if it's out of whack visually, there's things you can do. For instance, if you have too many links stacked in a row, you can separate them. Maybe you can link elsewhere. Maybe you can do a new paragraph. Or or a list, bullets. So it does. There are things you can do to make it visually better. But first consideration is always: is this link necessary, and does it add value to the article?
I agree.
I like the visual one. I wonder how many people actually look at it. Because I can see your point. Maybe, for example, if you're linking to Amazon, maybe you don't need to link to both of them. You
Yeah.
can link to...
It's funny, Deb, I have this weird kind of thing going on. I cannot draw a stick man. I am illiterate as far as art goes. It's bad. It's really bad. But I love art. Yeah, but I love art. So, I love it. I love to, I just love to see how things lay out. But I really don't. I can't draw.
So paint.
Anyway, yeah, I could be like one of those. What do they call the artists that
Ross.
throw water balloons at a canvas
Happy
or something?
trees. His name is Ross. His last name is Ross. Bob Ross. I'm pretty sure. Let me look it up. But he paints happy little trees, and it's like a how to paint guide, and he's famous for it. You guys never.
Shannon, you've got some really interesting information on this Hangout. I have to say, you're very entertaining.
Oh well. I'm sorry. I thought it was what do you call that? I'm losing words now. A cultural thing, like Bob Ross. You just gotta look it up. Look at any video by Bob Ross, and you will know what I mean by happy little trees.
I think, Don, what you're saying is that if you can't draw stick people, you at least appreciate the visual. So what you're saying is when you look at the article, you can appreciate if it's a little heavy on a lot of blue links at the top and nothing in the bottom, spread that out, kind of balance that visual.
Yeah, and I'm not the best guy to do the design for you by far. But so, it's one of those things where I can tell you what I want, but I can't do it. So that's a real, painful sort of ordeal, right? It's the guy who can tell you how to fix your car, but he can't do it himself. I don't know.
But I think that's needed. I think that's needed because there's some of us that can fix it, but we don't see that it needs fixing. So you need the people that say, hey, that looks really awful. Go fix it in this way. And then some people can go in and actually fix it. That's needed.
I'm just a nosy little neighbor that's just got to figure it out for herself. So how'd they do that? It's true. That's how I'm self-taught and everything to do with the internet. It's because I had to know, how did they do that? So, not that I'm an expert at any of it. It's more like a jack of all trades, and I don't know a little bit about everything,
So to share some more on linking, Shannon. So you said that you have some people.
Some people.
Oh, go ahead.
That are, well, don't you guys agree too when you're moderating for Phil and Dawn and Ann, and people reject articles because there's too many links, or publishers or writers won't include. We say include more supporting links. Support your article or your ideas or your points with resource links, and they don't want to because they'll lose link juice, or because they claim publishers won't accept the article then. And it's like a constant battle trying to tell them, if you add links, you're adding value. You're adding value to that article. And it doesn't take away from your link. In fact, it's going to do better to your advantage for having extra links, right? We all know this.
It's a funny thing in SEO. I'm sure there's an analogy. I'm not sure what it is, but everyone has their own opinion, and some people are really like caught up in it. I mean, I've worked with people who want every link. They'll let you use links in your articles, but they want them all no follow, right? Mm-hmm. And again, it's that link juice. I don't want to lose my link juice, and so what can I say? I have my own opinion about that, and I think that as long as the link is deserved, as long as it's something that's relative, as long as it's something that helps the reader, that it's a good thing to link out to people. It's like being the guy on Christmas who only wants to get presents and never give one. Who it doesn't make any sense.
Well, doesn't the Google PageRank hasn't even been updated in what? 7 months or something? It's been quite a while. Anne might know, but I'm just saying. I mean, PageRank is, I guess you're right, Don. It goes down to an opinion thing. But I think PageRank's dead. Stop.
Yeah.
So how,
But one thing for articles and for writers that my counsel for writers is always include the relative links. And on the publishing end, because I'll have writers say, well, I don't want to include links because publishers don't like them. Well, some publishers do and some don't. It's up to them. Yeah, so do I. But so on the publisher's side, I would rather get an article that has too many links, because it's real easy just to unlink them, than to get articles that don't have the links, and then I have to go, do the research and find the appropriate links. So,
Exactly. And which is what I would do. If I get an article that's otherwise good, I will go to the extra step. Not only that, but I will buy images for that article. No guff. I'll go get the extra links and get that one I just put in the Friday my blog guest promotions only, the G+ community. It was an excellent article, and all it came with was the one self-serving link, and that's it. And I added tons of images, tons of reference links, and it makes the article, if you ask me. But I could see it, I could already see that was going to be, an awesome article with just those little extra things added. And so for me, it was worth it. But I think you're right. A lot of publishers would just skip it. Why? And it would go with the formatting thing too, where you've left too many spaces, or you didn't bother with the H3 or H2 tags. I mean, if a publisher thinks they're gonna do too much work in your article when you could have done it as the writer, then they'll just skip it.
That's right, Shannon. The difference between acceptable and exceptional is about 10% more effort. If we could just get that through. Hey, Ann, I think you've said before that about the whole link juice thing that, don't worry about it. Is that correct? Is that what you think?
Absolutely. And I think that our problem today is that we think too much about Google and too little about our community and our readers. And if you think that you would rather read a blog post with no links at all, and that's what you prefer, that's up to you. But if I read an article, I would love to have some additional reading and go through and get inspired and get a lot of feedback and background on what's mentioned, especially if I don't know that term. And that's the nature of the whole web, to link. And it's unfortunate that Google or fear and doubt that's circulating the web is killing links. Many people don't follow all the links they have on their websites, and because they are scared. And I'm hoping that just temporal thing that we will be able to overcome it. People will remember that links still add value to the web, and without links there is no web at all. And we are for being natural, we are for being informational, for giving if we are able to get. So the more I personally would always make an offer for the article if it has links. And if it has no links, I will always make a note. When I make an offer, I would also know that I will add links of my own as well as images, so that the user knows that before they accept my offer. So I would never publish a blog post with no links in it. I think that's not a web page.
Now, from your experience as mods, do you ever run into people that are offended when publishers add links? Because I know this morning Eileen added a link to one of the other articles I'd written on her blog, which I'm like, well, duh, I should have added that link myself. But I appreciate it when a publisher publishes my article, and it doesn't have to be a link to anything that I've done, but when they add links, I feel like they're adding value to my article. So I'm never offended if a publisher does that.
That's right. I would never be offended if the publisher would add links to my articles. I always do that myself, but if they feel like that something is not really clear and they need more background on anything that I mention, I'm never against from them adding links. Okay, I'm against slow. I think it will switch me off again.
Well, thank you, Anne. We're about to end anyway, but thank you, Anne. Thank you for all the kind things that you said. I appreciate that.
I have had one member who got very upset when I was linking to other posts within my own site from her posts. There weren't even affiliate links or links out or anything. I was just linking to other posts on the site because that's the way I was working at the time. Trying to interlink all the posts. And
but that's
this member became
industry standard. Anyway.
This member became very upset, and I had to cut them down to one. I pointed out that there were the other post would be linking to her post, but I couldn't persuade her. So for the sake of a quiet life, I killed most of the links.
But then you probably didn't use her articles again? It's just a...
Yeah, you'd be less inclined.
Well, yeah. There was that as well, but she had plenty of offers at the time. I think the market has changed now from one where there was an excess of people bidding. Now the market has swung the other way. It's now the bloggers, it's the people... Sorry, I'm trying to get this totally clear. Instead of being the writer's market, it's the people who publish it. They're the ones who call the tune. And writers have to up their game to meet their demands.
Oh, I think that's great.
Whereas before it was the other way around. You could publish any guest post on anything. Now the game has changed totally.
Maybe that means
the past
our
12
users
months.
are reading the man's wonderful posts and paying attention to the community stuff, and they're learning things. We like to hope that,
Yeah.
right?
That was positive, Shannon. I appreciate that.
Well, yes. You want to be able to educate too, right, Don?
Education, that's where it's at. My daughter educates me all the time. We were talking about this. I know we're out of time. The Hobbit stuff, and you said Elvish, Shannon. I was trying to remember that. That's what she does. She and her friends, speak and write Elvish to one another. That's how far into it she is. So of course, there's a new movie coming out soon, and she's already, she's already
Well, you can tell her
ascertained.
I can't wait.
Yeah, it's good stuff. But it was my fault because I gave her The Hobbit, the first book,
That's not a
as
small thing
something to
for
read.
your kid to read either. That's pretty epic.
Yeah, she's into it.
Well, how old is she?
So she's a big girl. She's 14. She's a freshman in high school now.
Still.
But I gave her The Hobbit when she was quite young, probably about 6 years ago, I guess.
I think I say when she's 6 years old. Well, that's not too far off.
She was 8. Yeah, about when she was 8.
So-
I think it would have been about 10 or 12 I started getting into that. All I did was I drew dragons, I painted them, I read dragons. Anne McCaffrey, she hasn't read Anne McCaffrey, I'd probably just drop dead because that's the place to go to read about dragons. She must have.
Well, I don't know that it's the dragons she's into. She's into the hobbits.
Just the good-looking hobbits, there's that too. Although
Well, the one guy that all the girls are crazy about, what's his name? The
Bilbo? It must
No.
be
One of the, who knows?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, while you're thinking that, for any of the kids out there watching, like we're really hot news for the kids, if you want to make your parents happy and let you have more time to read stuff like Dragons and The Hobbit, you'll want to get Phil's book, Exam Grade Boost. Did I get that right?
There you go.
Exam grade booster.
Okay, Boost, yeah. So my son looked at it. He really liked it. So, yeah, you kids want to get good grades so that you get on the good list for this holiday season and get the games. Check out. We'll have to link that.
That's it, and keep reading.
Yes.
Thanks, Deborah.
Reading improves your vocabulary. It's true. When I
Yep.
see new words, I love it. I love it. I love my Kindle because you can highlight the word and it'll tell you exactly what it means.
That is very cool. Well, guys, thank you so much for joining in on this November MyBlogGuest Hangout. And everyone watching, be sure to join us in the community. Phil, did you have something you wanted to add?
No. That's fine.
Okay. I might have read you wrong on that one. I want to make sure I'm not cutting anyone else
No, I was
off. Or...
I was just going to say Shannon's talking to herself there.
And if you want to talk to Shannon, she's very delightful.
No,
Catch her in the MyBlogGuest community. We have almost 2,000 members there?
Yep.
So join in on the conversation 24/7 there, also the forum.
If you're having a bad day like Phil, look for me on the MyBlogGuest G+ community, and I'll give you a smile.
Excellent.
And I'll protect
if you
you
didn't
from the evil teenage mutant cows. Heifers.
On that note, tune in the last Friday next month after the holidays, and we'll have another MyBlogGuest hangout. Otherwise, we'll see you in the community on G+, and also on the MyBlogGuest.com, and the Twitter chats on Thursday. Thanks all.
See ya.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.